Tuesdays, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33. Welcome, everybody, to Mixing It Up. Today is January 30th. We are broadcast on Comcast 20 all over Wayne County, TV 33 in most areas in Detroit. We're also live online on TV33live.com, and you can now catch this show live on Facebook at the new TV 33 WHPR. On Facebook, you can catch us live. You can watch the show, put your name in, and watch it on your own station on Facebook, and you communicate with your friends while you're on the show. We want you to call us. We got a great show for you tonight. I'm going to get into that in a minute. We are at 313-868-0342. These are all 313 numbers. 868-0351, 868-4336. This show can be seen every week live. Recorded episodes of this show are archived on my Facebook on Mixing It Up with Barry Ross On Demand. You hit the like button, you go to On Demand, and you can see the shows that have been previously shown, and you're going to want to see them. I got some great shows, and we have a lot more in store for you. And right now I want to get into my guest tonight, and my first guest, which will be on in a few minutes. This is a tragic story. I have a man and lady whose 23-year-old son, John Pippin III, was murdered in Detroit on East Outer Drive early last week in his own apartment building where he lives. And unfortunately, due to economic strains and restraints on us today, you know how tough things are in the city, so many people unemployed, this family needs help paying for their own son's funeral. Now, this young man was working in a service station, and he has a 3-year-old son that he left behind. This is a good young man. He had just moved, according to what I hear, into a new apartment building, and one of his neighbors took him out. My God. We need to help this family, and they're going to be on in a few minutes, and I can't say enough how we have to come together and get involved, and we're going to need you to contribute. And everyone that was here tonight at the station has contributed a little bit towards this young man's funeral. His name was John Pippin III, 23-year-old young man. We can't lose any more of our youth. And we also have tonight, we have Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross. The real Rick Ross that the hip-hop entertainer has been using his name. And he's got a story to tell to you tonight where he's been and what kind of inspirational message he can give to the youth today on what they do not need to do on these streets all over the country and what they need to do to get involved. I also have Stephen Boyle. Now, he is a very prolific photographer that's at every historical event in this city. You'll see him. I can't wait to have him on. And his photography is out of this world. And he needs to get out here and let you see his work. I can't wait to have him on. And I also have, what's been going on a few weeks now, we have Tawana Honeycomb Petty's Corner with the spoken word, and she'll be on a little bit after 10 o'clock. And it's been very, very hot. We're getting a lot of great responses from the community on the spoken word. You know, there's a lot of good poetry going on, and everybody needs to get with it. And that she'll be on a little bit after 10 o'clock. Now, I just want to talk to you a minute about the young lady, the baby girl, little Ivy, that died in a fire last September 2000. Fire engine came, and this little baby died from smoke inhalation on the second floor. They did not have a ladder. They couldn't get to the second floor. And again, this family couldn't pay for the funeral. So Malik Shabazz, Barry Ross and Robert Robinson from It Takes a Village, we started a foundation. I haven't received 1 cent from anybody out there. Don't you care? Do not let this baby die in vain. My God, she shouldn't have died. She should not have died from smoke inhalation, this poor little adorable baby. This is set up at Comerica. It is the Ivy Emergency Children's Fund. I started it. We've had a couple of the other members that are in this fund contribute, and I want to see funerals paid for in this city. My God. It's one thing to lose a life. It's another thing not to be able to put them to rest safely. And again, I want to credit Minister Shabazz and the New Marcus Garvey movement for an awesome show last weekend on Linden and Southfield Road to shut down an alleged drug house and a supply house. There was over 50 people there. Hanson Clark, Congressman Clark. There was James Tate from the City Council, members of the Detroit 300, members of the Grandmont Radio Patrol, It Takes a Village, Detroit Coalition Against Violence. I could go on and on and on. In the middle of the snowstorm, we haven't had any snow, but all of a sudden it started snowing on us, and everyone was there praying away and making a difference and getting together in the community. And so I'm not going to go on, but I encourage you to join an organization and to get involved in our fund and to start making a difference and watch your streets. We need everybody out there to start reporting what they see. Crime Stoppers, 1-800-SPEAK-UP, offers you a reward if you see an act of violence. This family here that's going to be up in a minute lost their son. We need to find this young man. Apparently they know who did it. They have a person of interest, and we need to get him in for questioning, to say the least. So without any more delay, I want to introduce Rosa Dudley. Hello, Rosa. Hi. Thank you for coming. Let's speak a little clearly into the microphone. And John Pippin, Senior.
Yes.
Junior?
Junior.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Your son was murdered early last week.
Yes, last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday.
Yes.
And tell everybody what happened to the best of your ability.
Oh,
Either one of you, whoever wants to take the mic.
he came to my apartment at 12 o'clock, beat it on the door, said that he got robbed. And I'm like, well, son, just come on in the apartment. You know, don't stand outside, you know, 'cause it's cold outside. Just come in the apartment. Then he was upset. He was,
Just pick it up and talk. Okay, go on.
he turned around and he was upset. And he said,
Thank you.
he said, Dad, or Pops, he said, I came to your door and knocked on the door and you didn't answer. And I explained to him I was asleep because I had to go to court in the morning. Then the next thing I know, he was upset, and he turned around and started walking down the steps and went back over there to his building. But before he walked over there, he said, I ain't even got my keys to get in my apartment. And I guess he thought that when he got robbed, they took his keys. So he was pretty much walked from my building over there to his building and went to sleep on the stairs.
Because he couldn't get in.
Right.
But he didn't need a key to get in his building?
No.
No, not to get
Okay,
in
go
the
on.
front door, but he needed a key to get into his apartment.
Okay.
So, I mean, my speculation from there is somehow somebody woke him up off the steps, and
Somehow he ended up in his apartment,
In a neighbor's apartment?
in the apartment that killed him. Somehow he ended up in his apartment.
All right, so go on. So
from
he's in this guy's apartment. No one knows what's going on in there. Whatever happened, happens. And
Right.
this guy does.
He called somebody early that morning and told them to call 911. He just killed somebody in his apartment.
The owner of the invited your son in, allegedly shot him,
Yes.
and then calls 911 himself.
No, called somebody, a neighbor,
Uh-huh.
and asked the neighbor to call 911. The neighbor called 911, And then the security came, and then the security said, "Oh, he not supposed to be over here at this apartment or on this property," but he was staying there. I know because I stayed upstairs from him.
Do we know this young man whose apartment this was? Do you know his
This
name?
is an old
An-
man. His name
An-
is Anthony Jones.
And he is the person of interest.
Yes, he's
Anthony
50 years
Jones.
old.
And
Anthony,
he's how old?
50.
50 years old.
Yes.
And where was this apartment building?
Arthur's Gardens.
Ethel's Garden,
Ethel's?
Yes.
And where is that?
East Outer Drive, and it's between 7 Mile and Van Dyke, but it's on Outer Drive.
So the police are looking for Anthony Jones, about 50 years old.
Yes,
And what race is he?
black.
Black man who was the person of interest
One
that
eye
allegedly
messed up.
shot your son.
Yes,
And this is a week old already.
yes. Today is a week.
And he died instantly.
Yes.
Yes.
hope?
He said they got a shot.
He
The
shot
bullet
him in
went
his
through the
heart.
front, through his heart, and came out the back.
Okay. And now the funeral costs. We're asking the community at large. What do you want to ask the people out there that are watching and listening to the show? You need help with the funeral costs?
Yes.
Okay, let's ask them. Tell them what you want, what you need from them.
Okay, so far we have raised majority of the money. Right now, we just needed $630, but today we just came up here and you said they gave $200 here, so we just need $430 so that we could bury my son.
And anybody that's watching or listening to this show, we need you to help this family. Where can they send the money? What can they do? Do you want to send it to the funeral home?
Yes, it's to Carver's Funeral Home on 7 Mile and Van Dyke.
Is there a phone number?
Yes, it's 313-892-8300.
Repeat that again slowly.
313-892-8300.
And again, we're asking you, if you know an Anthony Jones that lives on East Outer Drive at the Ethel's apartment complex, this is the person of interest. The police are looking for him.
And he have one eye. He have a glass eye.
So this is kind of a distinguishing mark.
Right, that's
that
his
you can-
mark there, his eye, because his eye is messed up.
Okay, now the funeral home is willing to work with you on the price of the cost of the funeral, correct?
Yes.
Have they reduced it already?
Yes, it was 31 that we owe. Now we just owe,
A few $100s.
yes.
Okay, and again, just tell them, let's see. This is the Carver Funeral Home at 19301 Van Dyke.
Yes.
That's Detroit. Carver Funeral Home. You could send your donations there in care of Rose Dudley, in care of John Pippin Jr.
Junior.
And it's for John Pippin III. It is to Carver Memorial Funeral Home, 19301 Van Dyke, Detroit, 48234. Here's their phone number, 892-8300. Everyone here tonight on Minister Shabazz's show has contributed. I've contributed. We're asking you to get involved. This young man needs to be put to rest, and this family needs to get on with their grieving. This is a sad affair when we cannot bury our children that shouldn't be dying before us. Is there anything else that you guys would like to say? We got a few more minutes.
I just want to thank the community because they had a fundraiser for my son. And they had, because this happened so quick, something that you never expect. And when they say, yes, get some insurance for your child, get some insurance for your child.
Funeral insurance or life insurance.
Yes, life insurance, funeral insurance.
But who figures that their son is going to go before them? What's John Pippin III's son's name?
Jamar Thomas Pippin.
And how is he doing?
He's not doing good. He don't understand what's really going on yet.
He wasn't
He's-
there, was he?
No, he wasn't.
Thank
He's
God for
still
that.
God.
he's still saying his daddy is at work.
His daddy's still at work. He
And-
haven't
and-
came and seen him yet. He just at work.
Oh my God. And John worked. You know the lady that told me about you? Maybe not.
No, we don't know her, but
Okay.
we met her.
Okay. And she said she would go to the service. Where does he work at? Where was John working at?
On 9 Mile and I want to say
Off DeQuinder.
DeQuinder, off DeQuinder. It's Lou's shop. Lube Express. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
but the point is, your son was doing something good.
Yes, he
Your
was
son
trying
wasn't
to-
out selling drugs.
No, he
Your
wasn't.
son wasn't out robbing anybody.
was
He
not.
was killed
Just
for no reason.
senseless
killing.
for nothing.
It has to stop in Detroit. It has to stop.
to.
We must do something. And he left behind a 3-year-old. I heard he had just moved into this apartment
Yes,
as
he
well.
did. He only
So
been
the-
over there for 2 weeks.
This is very strange.
Yes,
How someone in the same building.
in the same
How
building.
far was this neighbor's apartment from your son's? Relatively
like,
close?
Yes, like I'd say 2 doors down from my son.
Okay. Are the police outside of the building? Have they been looking around? They've been questioning people, what have you?
We haven't heard
The
anything from the
first-
police
The
since.
first 2 days they came down there, they came and talked, but ain't been back out since.
Well, you know, I had told you I had talked to someone high up in homicide, and that they said they were issuing a warrant. Today is Tuesday. I talked to him Friday. If you haven't heard one word?
Not a
No.
word.
Okay, I'm gonna call back again tomorrow and find out what's going on. And I know you need to know that this
Yes.
man is taken in, and that something's being done for the man that took your son. You have other children?
Yes,
What do you have?
I have 2 more daughters and 2 more sons.
Oh, my God. And how are they? Other than this grieving thing, they're doing okay? I mean, in
Yes,
life and what have you?
they doing good.
Okay.
You know, but this here is like, this is their older brother who
Oh, wow.
died. You
Wow.
know, so it's a lot, for them to deal with.
Okay. Just one more time, you want to give any contact information, and I'm going to read the number of the funeral home and the address again for them to send in a donation. You want to give your contact information? If not, that's okay, or?
No.
Okay. Again, you send in donations to the Carver Memorial Funeral Home, 19301 Van Dyke. This is for the burial of John Pippin III, their 23-year-old son that was murdered last Tuesday. Detroit 48234, the phone number. It's in Detroit, so you know the area code, 892-83. Send in $5, $10. Man, I just realized how fat I am on TV. Send in anything you can. It doesn't matter. You're not going to be judged. Just show some kind of interest that we all can do something together. 892-8300. And we're going to do our best to make sure that he's put to rest. And we want everyone to know that we love you guys and our hearts go out for you. And if Minister Shabazz is still in the building, maybe we'll say some kind of prayer.
And we appreciate it too.
Because he's real connected. And I appreciate you guys coming. I know this is difficult. I know you're in shock. And this is the toughest time of your lives as parents, to see your child go before you. This is not how God meant this to be. And I can't even imagine what you're going through. But we'll all be there for you. And you're not in this alone. And I know that doesn't give you any kind of comfort, but just know that this is a shame, and we all feel for you. We don't feel your pain, but we want you to know we love you and we care about you, and that's why you're here, and that's why people are donating, and hopefully this will get more donations. And one way or another, you guys stay in touch with me. You'll call me tomorrow. You both have my phone number.
Yes.
And I'll make a call for you tomorrow. Okay, anything else we have to?
I just want to say, if you are listening, Anthony, please turn yourself in, because you know what you did. And we know now. We just want to just go on, be able to just deal with it and just go on.
At least get an understanding of what happened. If it was an accident, okay, accidents are understood. But to run, that's showing that it really was not an accident.
It doesn't look good when you run.
No, I don't.
It
Nope.
doesn't. Is there a photo of him?
No, we don't have a photo.
There's no photo.
The officer has a photo. I guess they took photos out of his house.
Okay.
And he need to be caught, because if he done killed once, he'll kill it twice, because my
It's the
son is
second
twice.
time.
So how many more other people have to be killed before he shouldn't be back on the streets?
That's right. You're not safe in this area with this man walking around, the alleged person, the point of interest, this Anthony Jones. You need to turn yourself in, and let's find out what's going on here, Anthony. It'd be better if you turn yourself in for you, the family, and the young man that got killed. So we would appreciate you turning yourself in. Anybody wants to donate, we need about $400 more for this funeral. 892-8300. This is the Carver Memorial Funeral Home on the east side of Detroit. 313-892-8300. Okay. We're going to take a quick break. You guys stick around for a minute. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after a station ID with our next guest, Stephen Boyle. Thank you very much, and we'll be right back. You're watching Mixing It Up on TV 33, Comcast 20, TV33live.com. We're also on Facebook. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Mr. Hoda.
Hi, Mom. Where'd you get all this Narcotics Anonymous stuff from?
Mrs. Owens had Narcotics Anonymous come and talk to our class about meetings that can help people stop using drugs.
Narcotics Anonymous.
Yes, please. Can you help me?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
We are the faces of Detroit. We are the faces of Delray.
We are the faces of Delray.
Governor Snyder wants to put us out of our homes by building a bridge in our front yard.
Homes where we raised our families.
A community where we buried our loved one.
Delray is struggling, but it's not lifeless. It's a community of hopes and dreams.
Governor Snyder.
Invest.
Not destroy.
1,000 men's suits. And right now at Sermons, you can buy one and get two free. Not one suit, but two free. Buy one suit, bring two friends. Buy one suit, bring two relatives. Buy one suit, get two free. Bring your pastor, your boss, your teacher. Buy one suit and get two free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leathers, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy one suit, get two free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
The Brinker Group has been serving clients throughout Metro Detroit since 1989. Our group is comprised of 5 commercial contracting firms that specialize in construction management, general contracting, architectural interiors, flooring, glass and aluminum applications, and electrical installation. For exceptional service at competitive rates, choose the Brinker Group. We build with quality, confidence, and pride.
Hey, come on. Man, what is taking so long? Let's play.
Just getting a number.
Whose number?
Narcotics Anonymous.
Hey, if you need to talk.
No way, it's not for me, it's for my brother. He's constantly wasted. Come on, hoop time. Can you tell me about NA?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
You're watching Power Talk on your community TV station, UHF TV 33, Detroit, Highland Park. The following program does not reflect the views and opinions of Channel 33, its management, or sponsors.
We're having a little program switch here, and my next guest, who's from out of town, has to, he's got an emergency situation. So without any delay, I want to introduce everybody. It's not as if he's a stranger to the airwaves and the media in Detroit lately. The original Rick Ross.
How you doing?
It's a pleasure to have you here. You can move up a little bit so everyone can hear who you are.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being here, you know, and it's wonderful that you're allowing me to get my message out. So
It's okay.
I appreciate that.
I'd like you to just give everybody a brief idea, for those that don't know, anybody that's been sleeping for the last 20 years, as to where you've been and what's going on with you. And
Well, I've been out of prison 2 years and maybe 4 months now. I got out 2009, September 29th. So I've been out 2 years. Before that, I was doing prison time since 1989 up until to that day. I was in prison.
do you care to share what the circumstances were as to why you went to prison?
Well, the reason I went to prison for drug trafficking, I became a major drug trafficker in Los Angeles. Pretty complicated case, you know. it would take us at least an hour to go all the way into detail about all the facets of what was going on. You know, it was revealed that the CIA was involved in my drug trafficking. At least one of their operatives was, and an operative means somebody that's on their payroll, but he can't be a CIA agent because he doesn't have a green card. But he assists them in their operations, and he was getting a check from them.
While you were in prison, we've talked a little earlier, you enriched yourself.
Absolutely.
You took the time to give yourself a little knowledge. Am I correct?
A lot of knowledge. You know, when I went to prison, I was totally illiterate. I mean, I would go as far as saying that I didn't really know my ABCs, because I knew A, B, C, but I didn't know how to sound them out, how to break them down, how to put them together. And without being able to do that, it didn't allow me to read or write. And while I was in prison, I figured that out. And after I learned how to read, you know, I learned how to read law books. The first book I ever read was a law book. I found the issue that got myself out of prison. When my lawyer told me I was wrong, the prosecutor, the judge, told me I was wrong. So I went from there to saying, you know, once I won my case, I knew I was going home. I had about 8, 9 years left in prison. And I decided, I said, you know what? Well, what are you going to do? You never worked. You never filled out an application for a job. What are you going to do with yourself? And it came to me that I should educate myself, that I should become as knowledgeable as I can about, you know, what the works is in life and how to come out here and make a living. And I made a commitment to myself that I was never going back to prison.
We talked a little bit earlier. You came to my business today, and I had mentioned to you that I also wasn't on your level, but I was also I was on drugs for many, many years, and I sold drugs for many, many years. But there's a message in this to the youth, and I happened to hear you earlier. What could you say to the young men and young ladies that are trying to get off in the drug game today? Where is that going to take them? How are they viewing the streets today and the drug trade, the youth? What are they thinking about?
Well, the difference in what I'm telling the youth and what they're hearing on the radio and on TV is that if you become successful, and you're lucky, you're going to go to prison for 20 years, maybe life. And if you're unsuccessful, you could be dead. So, you know, those are the ways that most of the people get out of the drug game. I mean, it's not the Rolls Royce, the Phantom, the House on the Hills. Yeah, you may touch some of those things, and that's if you're lucky and you're really good, and you know you work 20 hours a day, and you know don't spend your money until you know you're worth $2 or $3 million.
Scared all the time, nervous all the time.
Absolutely, you don't know when they're going to kick your door in. And the reason I had such a long career is because I was able to deny myself the things that most people get. You know, most guys, as soon as they get in the drug business, they go buy them a car. So now everybody knows that they're selling drugs. I didn't do that. So that allowed me to stay under the radar a little longer.
You were a frugal drug dealer.
Yeah.
You were a frugal drug dealer. Listen, a young guy, 15 years old, society tells him, go to school, get an education, you can get so-called get over, become successful, make some money. But yet his 17, 18-year-old brother is selling dope now. He sees him with a new car. He sees him with everything he wants, jewelry, ladies, whatever. Their father never owned a new car.
Yeah.
They say to them, he says to himself, so what if I die in 5 or 10 years? At least I can say I had it all now. I mean, the mentality of some of the youth, what's going on today, what can you impart?
Well, I felt like that. I was one of those guys who felt that I wouldn't be alive till I was 24 years old, you know, and I knew I was going to prison. You know, it's like every morning that you wake up, you're like, is this going to be the day I'm going to prison? Is this going to be the day I have to kill somebody? Is this the day I get killed? So, you know, but what we have to do is let our youth know that there's other ways that they can make more money or just as much money, and that they're smarter than that. You know, that, yeah, you may get a car. Most drug dealers, though, are broke, believe it or not. It's not the type of thing that they put out here is that all drug dealers are rich. That's not true. You know, the majority of guys in prison right now for selling drugs never made $500,000, never made $100,000. You know, a lot of guys get caught their first deal or their second deal, their 10th deal. You know, I got lucky. You know, I'm one of the lucky ones. And even some of the other guys who we felt were just as lucky as I was, they're in prison right now with life sentences without the possibility of parole. So and I only had an 8-year career, and that was considered long. So, you know, when you look at drugs, you're saying, I know now that I could work on any job, and if I work 18 to 20 hours a day, if I don't spend none of my money, take all my money and put it back into what I'm doing, if it's McDonald's, I'll be owning a McDonald's in a couple years. So, you know, you could put that same type of energy into other things, and you'll see them flourish as well.
That's a great message. Let's take a call. Hi, you're on the air with Rick Ross, the original. How you doing? Good evening. You were on the air. Okay, they're interested in making a movie about your life.
Yeah.
And how is that going?
I think it's going pretty well. I wrote my autobiography when I was in prison, and my plan when I wrote it is that I would find somebody that could take my autobiography and turn it into a movie script. Well, right before I got out of prison, I ran into a guy by the name of Nick Cassavetti. He's the author of Blow and Facebook, Alpha Dog, John Q. And me and him collaborated on putting this script together, and he's scheduled to direct it. Right now we're in the process of putting actors together. I spoke to Denzel Washington, Will Smith,
wow.
Jamie Foxx, Columbus Shore.
Hold on a second. Excuse me. Keep that thought. Hi, you're on the air mixing up with Rick Ross. Hello, you're on the air with Rick Ross. Great phone lines tonight. Oh.
Don't hang up.
Okay, so you have some actors that are interested, and you have how's the money going?
Well,
raising the money, it's expensive.
Yeah, the movie is really, really expensive for this type of film. They consider it an urban film, so we're trying to raise $36 million to put this piece together. Because this is not just a normal film. This is, in my opinion, this is American history. This is a film that must be shown and must be seen.
Go ahead. Caller, you're on the air. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can.
How are you? You're here with Mixing It Up and Rick Ross.
This is Rick Ross I'm looking at on the TV right now.
You got it. The original Rick Ross.
Check this out, brother. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
All right. I'm doing all right. First, I want to say welcome to Detroit.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Detroit showed me a lot of love. You know, it's been cold outside, but the people of Detroit, you know, showed me a lot of love. I appreciate it. I went to 3 high schools this week since I've been here, and you know, and talked to some of the kids, and it's been different, huh? I mean, I could say this here: the kids here are different than L.A., and we think our kids are wild, but you know, they had one group was really they was out there, but you know what? After a few minutes, we connected, and it turned out okay.
All right. I want to ask you a question, brother.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I'm a big Too Short fan, so you know I done heard your names come up in the rhyme. Yes, I am, brother.
Too Short, my man, too.
All right. I've worked in the methadone clinic for 7 years. Never a user, but I worked in the methadone clinic. Are you familiar with those?
A little.
Okay, that's usually where the heroin.
I am a lot.
Go. All right, well, okay, all right. I'm glad you got yourself together, brother. Now, I'm gonna throw a good jab at you right here, Rick Ross. Could you break it down to the people? What are some of the physical effects that the workers go through when they have to mix the cocaine up with the cut that is going to be put on it? You know, as a drug counselor, I never used, but I had to learn from and the respect factor that I have for them. the respect factor that I have for people that's a part of the Narcotics Anonymous division. Sir Rick Ross, my brother, could you just share a little bit of the scientific ways that the drug can make you become addictive and what happens when these workers mix this stuff up? Because I think that's what the young brothers that's getting in the dope game don't really know. You got to have that mask on sometimes. You may not have somebody to test it for you, and if you're going to dip in it yourself, share a little bit.
Well, you know, I cooked up an awful lot of drugs. So one of the things that we did, we started off using the little bitty mask because what we noticed is that we would be up all day and all night. You know, we wouldn't be sleeping. And sometimes I start cooking my drugs up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because I figured that the cops wasn't on point at that time of morning, and that was my most vulnerable time. So what we found out is that not only would we be up all day and then we'd go cook at 2 or 3, 4 in the morning, but after we finished, we wouldn't be sleepy. You know, we would stay up the rest of the day. So what we noticed is that we were getting high, and not only were we getting high through our nose, but also through our hands. Our hands would be numb from touching it and feeling it. So we started using gloves. So what we noticed is that when you cook that much drugs, you probably getting more higher than the person that was smoking it on a pipe because you're cooking large amounts. So the screens just be enormous. So definitely, if you're cooking up cocaine, you're definitely getting high, without a doubt.
That's the game, brother. Please, before you make another step, and anybody that's listening, that's what a movie need to be about. I understand we done had our good movies of how certain black drug dealers was able to do this and accomplish that, woo. But that right there, that science you dropped would shake the nation up. When I learned that they were smoking crystal meth in South Africa, I cried. And I read that article in the Michigan Citizen, not the Chronicle. I read it in the Citizen. Brother, before you make another step, the left foot forward to defeat evil. That's the movie. Those are the black books that we need. And if we can decrease our drug users and abusers and sellers to the numbers they were before the 1950s, God will bless these people, and we will be able to fix what was undone on this planet. Welcome to Detroit, brother, and you have a good evening. And, sir, whose show this is, I will be bumping it to you. I go to the Detroit Seafood Market. I'm going to find where you at. I'm going to get off the phone. I want to take up no more time.
I just want to tell you my name's Barry Ross, and I'm in recovery, and I hear you. Thank you for your call.
You're welcome.
Thank you, too.
Hi, you're on the air with Mixing It Up and Barry Ross.
Hey, what's going on, Rick Ross?
Hey, what's happening with you?
Hey, I just got a question to ask you. How do you feel about the rapper Rick Ross using your name?
I don't like it. He didn't get my permission. I don't think that he's shown the type of homage that needs to be showed, you know, when you take something from somebody or borrow something from somebody or use something that's somebody's. I don't think that he showed any of that. And I'm in the process right now, though, of stopping him from using my name. We'll be going to court this week when I get back to L.A., and we should be starting trial in about the middle of March, I think it is.
Hopefully you'll settle.
Yeah, hopefully they do. Hopefully.
All right, we have another call. Is that it?
Okay, no, I got one more. You know, I missed the little party my homeboy Ray O'Shea threw for him. So I just wanted to know, did you have a good time down there?
Man, I had a wonderful time, man. The people in Detroit, you know, I mean, some of the stuff that I've heard about Detroit of being so violent and so this, they showed me nothing of that. You know, they showed me nothing but love, and I'm just hoping that the kind of love that they showed me that, you know, we'll start showing everybody, you know, because that's what it's all about. It's all about love, you know. It was crazy. The day I went off the radio and, you know, they had a song on and they was talking about we need love, not war. So, you know, that's what it's all about now. You know, we just all have to show each other more love and less war.
Thank you very much for your call. You and I talked about, are you bitter?
Right,
right. And you've learned to let that.
Talking to you. Have a good time here in Detroit.
I'm going to do that. Thank you.
Thanks for your call. We're going to take one more call and we're going to close it up. Hi, you're on the air mixing up with my guest, Rick Ross. How are you?
I'm great. I'm watching the program right now. I would like to ask Rick Ross a question, if I may.
Go ahead. You got it.
Oh, okay. Is this me right now?
This you. Your time.
Okay. You're on. Yeah, I was just wondering, since Rick Ross has been out of prison, how has he adapted to all the, like the limelight and the fame that was attached to his name, just basically as an inmate out of prison? I mean, was that like helpful or like hurtful for him to, get back in the thing?
Well, you know what? I had planned all this when I was in prison. I knew that I could do this from the idea. I'm going to tell you where my idea came from to start doing the things that I'm doing. It came from Malcolm X's autobiography. When I read his autobiography, I said, you know what? That guy couldn't read either. He taught himself to read in prison. So did you. And you can do the same things that he did. So all this fame and traveling and talking to kids and all this, it really came from Malcolm X.
Oh man, that's so you say that's pretty much your inspiration from Malcolm X, not from the juice that you had before, prior to when you got incarcerated, because you had a hell of a thing going prior to you getting incarcerated, if I might say so myself.
Yeah, well that let me know that I could do what he did and even more. You know what I'm saying? So all I had to do was I took his foundation and I just continued to build on it. I started studying, the Nation of Islam, Minister Farrakhan, and I had the privilege of being out 1 month and had dinner at his house. And, I'm just ecstatic that the things that I studied in prison work, And by the way, it's 3 books that I read, too, that I credit to helping me in my transformation. And I recommend that everybody pick them up. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, As a Man Think, As a Woman Think, and The Richest Man in Babylon.
That's what's up, Rick. Hey, man, good luck to you, man, all your endeavors, man. I'm seeing you out here. I hear you out here. I see all your interviews and all your documentaries. I just wish you the best, Rick, man. Get back on top, baby.
I appreciate it. Somebody was talking to me today on the radio about why people letting me do this. I said, ain't nobody letting me do this. If you don't like what I'm doing, you better get used to it, because you're going to see a lot of me.
Hell yeah. All right, good luck in this year, baby.
All right, baby. One love.
Thanks for your call. Thank you. I just got to say, I realize, we got to go in a second, that you are a humble man. You're trying to stay grounded. You were on top before, but being on top isn't always the best thing for publicity. If you know how to handle fame and just stay grounded, that's everything. Think about how many entertainers got to the top and lost it. Like
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, $300 million. Cecil Fielder, gambling away. Darryl Strawberry, all these guys, learn a lesson. If you go on top again, stay on top, but be grounded. I
Not
think you
if,
will.
when.
Yeah, when. I appreciate you coming on very, very much.
Thank you. Thank
It
you.
was very nice meeting you.
Likewise.
Rick Ross, everybody. Stick around for a minute. We'll be right back.
Management, general contracting, architectural interiors, flooring, glass and aluminum applications, and electrical installation. For exceptional service at competitive rates, choose the Brinker Group. We build with quality, confidence, and pride.
Hi, Mom. Where'd you get all this Narcotics Anonymous stuff from?
Mrs. Owens had Narcotics Anonymous come and talk to our class about meetings that can help people stop using drugs.
Narcotics Anonymous.
Yes, please. Can you help me?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
You're watching Power Talk on your community TV station, UHF TV 33, Detroit, Highland Park. The following program does not reflect the views and opinions of Channel 33, its management, or sponsors.
Tuesdays, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33. I apologize for running a little over. We had a lot of calls for Rick Ross, but anybody that's paid attention in any organization or any historical event going on, with anything going on in the streets, this man is everywhere, with fashion, with art, history. Obama was here. I was out. He was taking pictures. I see him everywhere I go. We were up in Ann Arbor to protest the governor's emergency manager. He was there. He's everywhere. He is ubiquitous. He's sort of like a baby little guy with photography, and he's extremely prolific. I call him Detroit's little photographer, a prodigy with photography. And he's also in Occupy Detroit. He wears many hats. Stephen Boyle, thank you very much for coming to our show.
Thanks, Rod.
I want you to
Thanks,
know
Barry.
that I want to make this a standing offer if you ever have anything that you want to get out, because I really like your work.
Okay.
And your photography needs to be everywhere. People need to be buying this stuff, Stephen. How long have you been doing photography?
Well, it's funny. I fell into photography after losing a job at Blue Cross Blue Shield back in 2004. Before that, I was doing just like club photography, just using a point and shoot. And it's kind of funny. A lot of people think that I've gone through all kinds of classes and done all kinds of things with film photography. I've actually all been digital. And
You're
around
self-taught?
2000, I'm all self-taught.
Self-taught.
And I think that we share our perspective, and it really is a matter of getting on the street and getting to know the people on the street and what's going on around town. It's not about see, what there is in classes is there's a discipline that's taught to you. You learn how the formula goes, and you learn how to satisfy the needs that somebody's placed in front of you, which works great for commercial work. And when it comes to artistic work, sometimes it's a little bit different. You're taught the techniques, and then you're told this is an expressive style that works this way or that way. And the instructor, if you got a good artistic instructor, they're going to critique you well based on what they can see in your potential. I've gone through classes. I've got a Bachelor of Science and a Master's degree also, so I'm not stupid when it comes to that. They're all in technology. I looked at technology as the tools that I was going to be using to forward the work that I'm doing. I can do some web development. I haven't been doing as much of it for profit as I'd like to be. I've been very much aligned with a lot of nonprofit activities around town. When the Better Detroit Youth Movement was starting up back in 2007.
Excuse me, do you know they were just here? I had a big meeting with them.
Yeah, I believe it. Harlan's doing some great things with
Harlan
it.
Bivens.
And
we talked about that, I think.
Yeah.
Can I just interrupt you and
Go
ask you
ahead.
a couple of questions on
Feel
a
free.
more lighter side? You're obviously very astute with photography, but how are you everywhere all the time? How do you always know about all the events, and what do you do with? You must have a tremendous amount of archives. When you were taking pictures of Obama, when you were there up front,
Yeah.
what do you do with? And when you were up in Ann Arbor, you just store all this stuff?
Yeah, that's just stored. I've got photos of all the state reps that were there for Labor Day last year when President Obama was in town. It's funny, I met Rabbi Dorit from the downtown synagogue.
She was on my show, and I know her very well.
It was really funny. I wound up meeting her at a Bridging 8 Mile event over in Royal Oak on Sunday.
They were on my show.
So, yeah,
Unbelievable.
I know David and the people from that organization. A lot of them went through Landmark Education back in the early 2000s when I did too.
Oh, my God.
I went through Landmark Education back in 2002 to 2005. So at that point in time, I was still employed at Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I started looking at my job and saying, so I'm just another little spoke on the big old cog going around and round and round. And I started to ask him, I want a bigger purpose. I want something different. And I think what it wound up doing was getting me out.
Can I, if I may, because one of my things about my show is I like to elevate people.
Yeah.
And if I may, I want people to see your work. I mean, your work speaks volumes. We can talk about the intellectual side and the digital side and the website side and this and that, but really, I want you to show everybody some of your work so they can really feel the depth of what you do. I mean, the colors that it's unbelievable. Can you push it a little forward? Yeah, I got a close up.
Maybe that's
Hodo.
That should be good.
I want
got a close up
them
on
to
that.
see.
This is a piece. This photograph was taken on Woodward at Milwaukee, believe it or not, in downtown Detroit. And the windows over here you may not be able to see right away, but you know what? Those windows are a Popeye's chicken. Yeah, it doesn't look so much like a Popeye's chicken when you're seeing the side of a window
Maybe if
like
you
that.
Tilt it back this way. Yeah, put it on the table and tilt it. Yeah, the lighting.
I'm getting, yeah.
Tilt it forward.
So, all the way down.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's great.
There you go.
All right, let's see another one.
Okay, so this one is an outfit and a designer that I'm working with. These are from a project that I've done called Abandoned in Detroit. And I've done this project since 2005, and it was part of my entry into doing fashion photography.
Beautiful.
Was I wanted to have a series. Now this is along the DeQuinder Cut before the DeQuinder Cut became redeveloped. And that's one of the reasons that the project is called Abandoned in Detroit, is actually the hope and future for the spaces around Detroit that are in distress. So this here, this is some chainmail tops actually that one of the designers makes down in Ann Arbor. And this photo here was taken inside the Globe Trading Company, which is the original Detroit shipyard. Michi, right here, is the designer. These are what he calls confetti jeans. And they're beautiful jeans. And this over here on this side, this is Gina. She's a designer.
The clarity of the pictures is what's blowing me away.
And I do a little bit of retouching after the fact, but I know that really it's about getting the focus in your photos is first and foremost. And I'll also say that having a rapport with your models matters an awful lot too, and having a sense of composition.
What is
this photo? Was taken not too far from where I'm staying down. I stay in the North End area, so I actually live in the city now. For a few years there, I was not living in the city, and I'm really happy to be living in the city because it puts me that much closer to the work that I do. Not only in photography, but also puts me close to the work I do in social justice in the various areas that I work. This is again along the DeQuinder Cut. This is from about 2007.
Now you're the social justice work. You go
the
to
social
court,
justice
you go
work.
To court and
I haven't so much gone to court, but right now I'm actually preparing some court documents for somebody that's having a little bit of a tough time with Child Protective Services, saying that they don't feel that she'll cooperate with their system. And the more and more they do that, the more difficult it gets for people to understand why they're so difficult to
Oh my God!
work
Look at
with.
these. I'm going to tell you something.
But,
you know, I'm in a clothing business. You should be in New York.
Yeah, I need to
I'm
get
just telling
your clothing store involved with some of the things I do. Sometimes I'll work with designers. Other times it's with, we'll work with makeup artists. And a lot of the models that I'm using here, some will say, "Oh, that's not a model. I see them all the time." And I'll be like, "Watch, 3 photo shoots with me, and the person you'll be swearing is a model." Because I teach them, I do talk with them when they're posing. I teach them a little bit about their stance, tell them about lighting, why they stand in a certain way so that the lighting works for them, how to show off the features of the clothing that they've got so that it's not just lifeless clothing on the model.
But you do more. We were talking about it. You do more than fashion.
And this is at the Belle Isle Aquarium, which I got to say, at the Belle Isle Aquarium, I'm going to be having an exhibition of the Abandoned in Detroit photography this Saturday during Shiver on the River. Free event, and it showcases all of Belle Isle, not just the aquarium. And I want to welcome everybody to come out and check out Belle Isle. It's an isle that it's the greatest recreation center that we have in Detroit. And the sad part is half of the place is closed right now.
They need money. Is this
Yeah.
a fundraiser?
Well, they've actually gone through and they've taken the conservancies, and there's been, I think, 4 or 5 conservancies around the aisle, and they've brought them all together into one conservancy now. So there's, I think, an easier way for them to pull money together because it's into a common pot. This past year, the aquarium actually was able to secured a Pepsi Refresh Challenge grant to repair the roof of the aquarium, which is a great step. That's huge. And I would love to, with the Abandoned in Detroit project, we're going through doing photography around spaces that we hope for a greater future. I would love nothing better than to take our project into the boat club, do photography in the boat club, which is abandoned space there, and also the zoo, which is the original Detroit Zoo, down on the island.
Just real quickly, if I can, I don't mean to be rude, but how can they contact you? You are for hire.
Yep.
But you're for hire for more than fashion. Right?
Let me do this. Let me write this because it might be a little bit difficult for people to see it
Well,
or
just tell,
to
just
know
tell
how
everybody
to spell
because
it.
we got to go in a minute.
Okay.
What other kinds of photography do you do? Yeah, tell them the name. And
Okay.
you're on Facebook.
Well, you can read that.
They
maybe.
can't read it. They can't read it. The light. No,
it's
say it.
Fuzzy Tech. It's FUZZYTEK. There's no C in it, just a K. So Fuzzy Tech. You can find me on Facebook. I've got a page there. I've got 2 profiles. One's about 5,000 friends and about 2,000 on another one. I'm part of the Occupy Detroit media team. I work on the website. I do some live streaming of events that we do. So I do get around to different things. I need to say congratulations to my fellow team and the family that wound up saving their house today. The Garrett family was looking at being evicted on Monday, and Occupy Detroit, Moratorium Now, and People Before Banks got together, and we stopped the dumpster from being delivered. Had a talk with New York Mellon Bank and renegotiated the terms. They were trying to ask for a little more than they originally asked for, and we kept them solid on their original offer, and family's going to be renegotiating their mortgage and getting back into the house.
So a lot of people need to know that Occupy Detroit has been really doing some good things.
Yeah, we've gone through 3 foreclosures and reversed 3 foreclosure activities.
That's
so
phenomenal.
we're doing some good things
Do
around
you
the
have
city.
a contact number?
Yeah.
Email?
You can call me. My phone number is 313-626-8525. I'll repeat it again so you can write it. It's 313-626-8525. And my email is fuzzytech, FUZZYTEK, the number 2, @gmail. And like I said, you can find me all over internet. I'm on Facebook, on Twitter. You can find Fuzzy Tech on Flickr, everywhere.
Stephen Boyle on Facebook as well, Boyle.
Yep, and you can find the Abandoned in Detroit project on Facebook has got a page. The Occupy Detroit page is up there also. I do manage that. I'm also have a fashion community called 313 Fad that is a group at the moment on Facebook, but I've been doing things with that since about 2007 of bringing different fashion talent together so that they have opportunities that they may not have had they not found a group that actually focuses on this.
Okay. Listen, I can't tell you how much I know it's not easy
Thanks.
for you getting here with your busy schedule.
And I'm also a person that shall we say, lives and dies by the bus, or friends. And I'm really thankful for the various friends that I am able to get a ride around town. Watch for me to be doing some more on the bus. I'm not going to reveal a new project that we're going to be talking about shortly, but I think that it'll be pretty revolutionary for the city, and I'll come back onto the show and when we're ready to talk about that.
Anytime you're welcome. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah,
Thank you. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be back with Tawana Honeycomb Petty's Spoken Word Corner, and it looks like you have 2 guests this evening. Yes, we do. It's going to be great. I can't wait. So stick around. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. Hold on.
Thanks.
Hi, Mom.
Okay, thanks.
Where'd you get all this Narcotics Anonymous stuff from?
Mrs. Owens had Narcotics Anonymous come and talk to our class about meetings that can help people stop using drugs.
Narcotics Anonymous.
Yes, please. Can you help me?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
We are the faces of Detroit. We are the faces of Delray.
We are the faces of Delray. Governor Snyder wants to put us out of our homes by building a bridge in our front yard.
Homes, where we raised our families.
A community where we buried our loved one.
Delray is struggling, but it's not lifeless. It's a community of hopes and dreams.
Governor Snyder.
Invest.
Not destroy.
1,000 men's suits. And right now at Sermons, you can buy one and get two free. Not one suit, but two free. Buy one suit, bring two friends. Buy one suit, bring two relatives. Buy one suit, get two free. Bring your pastor, your boss, your teacher. Buy one suit and get two free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leathers, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy one suit, get two free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
The Brinker Group has been serving clients throughout Metro Detroit since 1989. Our group is comprised of 5 commercial contracting firms that specialize in construction management, general contracting, architectural interiors, flooring, glass and aluminum applications, and electrical installation. For exceptional service at competitive rates, choose the Brinker Group. We build with quality, confidence, and pride.
Hi, welcome back to Mixing It Up with Barry Ross. I am Honeycomb. This is live TV. You never know what you're going to get. I am back with 2 guests. I have Ja Excel and William Copeland. They are authors, activists, speakers, writers, poets, you name it. And they are doing some amazing things in the community, as well as they have some events coming up. So I am going to introduce you to them, and you are in for a treat. Welcome, Ja.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome, William.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me. So, Ja, can you tell us what's going on in your world right now?
Pretty much, I travel doing spoken word all over. I also speak in high schools and self-help groups, a lot of domestic violence awareness groups. I speak in a lot of churches. Currently, I'm working on my 4th book, which should be out at the end of March. That's Jaism's 4, Truth Speaks. And I got a couple features coming up, and I'll give you the dates later.
Okay. Wow. 4 books, huh?
Yeah, 4 books.
So I mean, you have time to go places?
I'm hustling like you.
Busy man.
Right. William, you are, I can't even get into everything that you do in the community. You do a lot of wonderful things in the community with adults, with young adults. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, of course, definitely. We try to keep it moving. We have a youth group, the Young Educators Alliance. I'm kind of like the adult ally for. It's a group of young people that are trying to figure out how to make Detroit a better place. We meet every Tuesday and Thursday at the Cass Commons, which is also known as the Unitarian Universalist Church, right there on Cass and Forest, every Tuesday and Thursday after school from 4 to 6. Also part of a group called the Whole Note Healing Collective, and we are working on bringing healing resources into the community. We know that a lot of people aren't getting medical care. Many people may not even be treated well, by the various medical establishments.
Right.
So we work on how do we take care of ourselves, how do we go beyond medicine to nutrition, energy, movement, exercise, all those different components. So we're gonna have a festivities, have a festival night on Saturday, February 25th at the Commons.
Okay, and what's the address again? Do you have that?
The address is 4605 Cass, right there on the corner of Cass and Forest.
Okay, that's awesome. So aside from them doing all these wonderful things in the community, they are also authors and poets. And Ja, you said you're on your 4th book. Can you tell us again what the name of that book is? Your books are?
The name of my first book is called Jaism's Inspirational Poems for Women. The second book is called Jaism's 2, the Variety Volume. And right now it's called Jaism's 3, Feel My Lyrical and Your Physical. The 4th book will be Jaism's 4, Truth Speaks. Basically, the first book is just, which is here. The first book is basically about
trials and tribulations that women go through from a male's perspective. So I'm just pretty much writing about domestic violence, dogging men out, et cetera, from a male's perspective.
We don't dog men out.
Well,
Do we dog men
I
out?
do. I'm hard on them. I'm real hard on them. Josms 2 is a variety volume, meaning the poetry that's within the book is range from anything from spiritual to sexual and everything in between. I have personal pieces in there that is a reflection of my life. Okay. I have spiritual pieces in there. I have social pieces in there, et cetera, et cetera. And Josms 3, Feel My Lyrical in Your Physical is basically a book of erotica, small book. I won't even elaborate anymore.
Just get it. So how can people purchase your books?
Well, if you in or around Detroit and catch me at one of these venues, you can just come to me, approach me, and I should have at least 2 or 3 copies of each book to sell you personally. Or you can go online if you're from out of the Detroit area, or if you would like to purchase online in the Detroit area. The site that I want you to go to is CreateSpace. Once you go to CreateSpace, you can hit for the first book, which is Josms 1, Inspirational Poems for Women. Mm-hmm. The code that you put in after www.createspace.com/3398660. That's for the first book. The second book, you will do the same thing, and the code for that is 3455581. And the third book, the code for that is 3596301.
And is there, can people call you on your phone or?
Oh yeah, I got a universal number you can call.
Okay, what's the phone number?
You can hit me on my business phone, which is 438-8184, or that's 313 area code, or you can hit me on my regular phone, which is 313-808-8167.
Okay, all right. See, I don't know how they get the time to do all this stuff, but. And William, can you tell people again? You are an author as well, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you're an author, a poet, an activist. You're a new father. Mm-hmm. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. Leroy is 5 months old.
5 months old. Woo! My son just turned 16. I don't envy you right now. But so tell us how. What's the name of your book? Are you still selling them? If not, you're working on another book as well, correct?
I'm working on a CD.
A CD, okay.
CD, hopefully it'll be, I'm giving myself this whole year to work on it.
Beautiful, okay.
So sometime next year, but I have, with a group that I've been performing with, there's a CD available for download.
Okay.
The website is cdbaby.com and /longhairs with a Z, LONGHAIRZ, and that's the Long Hairs Collective. The CD that we did a couple years back, which you can definitely get on download. Mm-hmm. The book is mostly sold out. You can sometimes find it at some local bookstores.
How awesome is that?
New Haven Green. Fortunately, I sold out on all the copies that I have. So now I'm working on the new material.
That's beautiful, beautiful. And is there a phone number people can reach you at?
313-718-0868. I'm also available for poetry or other speaking gigs. If you want to do something with young people, as was mentioned, if you want to get your young people involved, our group is going to start doing workshops probably in March or April. We can work with any youth group.
Beautiful. And I've witnessed these young adults in action. I mean, they command the room. They are socially aware. They are socially conscious. You can't just put anything over on these children. They know what they're talking about. Trust me, I got checked by a couple of them. But no, I really support these men. And without any further ado, I'm going to let you hear some of their poetry. Jack, can you give us a poem?
Okay. The poem I will give you will be spiritually based, but it's also a little bit relevant to a misconception that goes around in society that spiritual women aren't attractive or alluring or sexy. So this one is called Saved and Sexy, and I'll be reading it from my second book, which is Josms 2, the variety volume.
Okay.
Pour me your spiritual lyrical sweetness. From out of a chocolate-colored cover Bible, sweet. I keep a sweet tooth for godly consciousness. Poetically, I can spoil you. When it comes to you, I can't help but pen my passion for your season with sweetness soul food. You're a habit. Easily to you, I'm addicted. You're a disease diva, you spread spiritual sickness, and with you, I'm gladly inflicted. Lady, with you, I'm infected, that's why I now vomit love rhetoric. God is a genius. Who else can wrap beauty, brains, and bad bodies in an abundance and variety of feminine packages? He enables sheaves to go from scripture studiers to sex symbols, from ministers to models, the inspiration for these poetic syllables, and even for thugs who pop bottles. She's called a religious fanatic. I call her a hopeless romantic, because she's limitless in her love, sometimes to her own detriment, oftentimes adoring Jesus as much as she adores male scrubs with their antichrist-like antics. But she's still a woman of greatness, and not a follower of Satan, and not worldly, and no dummy. In the race for irrelevant satanic followers, she's not in the running. She's a peer pressure rejecter, prime example of following Christ reflector, a divine soul sister, spiritual gift giver, uplifter, encourager, sanctified soldier, prayer warrior, God's desired daughter, avid supporter of the Almighty, and his all-knowing word. And since she's not perfect, sometimes of unworthy men, and the absurd blurbs, she's simultaneously blessed and highly favored, while lusted after and highly desired. Saved and sexy, carries herself honestly, obedient and trustworthy, dedicated girlfriend and clergy, a member of the body of Christ with a body that's nice. Stacked, fat, thick, thin, skinny, it's all right. All the time angelic, character always charismatic, personality always magnetic, a lady who's always respected, men are always attracted, spiritual women are fantastic.
Beautiful. See, it is attractive to be a spiritual woman. That is a beautiful poem. Thank you, Ja.
Thank you, Tawana.
And remember, you can get his poetry on Create Space. And thank you for that again.
Okay, you're welcome.
William.
This new poem is going to be a part of the album that I'm working on. It's on a politically relevant topic related to what they call the emergency managers coming through various cities. Most of the black cities in the state of Michigan are being threatened by the government with an emergency manager. And so this poem is just called Emergency. It's an emergency. These financial dictators, pay now, take it all later, grab 15% like a tipped waiter, or a pound of flesh like slick gators on your feet. No debating me, trying to recreate the D. Put the town in debt till it's down, saying mercy me, Marvin Gaye. Probably right-sizing policies, snatch silver gold, rear naked hoe, figure four, tighter than submission hold till your knee hits your nose. What you think we elected them for? EFM, oh wait, we ain't elected them though. It's an emergency. See, she was a strong sister, hood fixture, in the struggle as a panther, government resistor. I had to humble up and ask her, what does EFM stand for? And her answer, he's the economy's fabulous man whore. Operate by erasing familiar metropolis and more. It's elites effing with money. Why you think the cancer rate is 1 out of 3, honey? What do you expect? Fabricated medicinal, egotistical, FEMA of Midwest. Think the little kids of Katrina ever forget much? Greedy bastards expected function as masters. Their main task, evict Finkel, McNichols, East Ferry and Mac. Have grannies dressed in black like Miss Mary Mack. This ain't a kid's game. Too many slain and buried out back. They set a trap and say you fell between the cracks. Enjoying Flint as a meal, Pontiac and Detroit as a snack. Damn it all, these uncivilized animals, executives feast on our meat like cannibals, licking lips, eating families and mothers. In other words, we dealing with some evil. Shut your mouth. It's an emergency.
Yeah, thank you for that. And we all know that's an emergency. We've been signing petitions up here. I mean, you know, he's had Brandon Jessup on the show, and basically, it's an emergency, and people really need to get involved with that. And thank you for writing that. I mean, that is so relevant right now.
Thank you for having us. Everybody get up with Michigan Forward. They're easy to find on the web. If you got time, you can, like Tawana said, get those petitions so that people know that we won't have our vote taken away here in Detroit.
Right, and you can donate online. Brandon's out there like 24/7. 24/7 he is out there. So support them. Please support them. So once again, you just go ahead and give your contact information again.
No
phone
problem.
Number.
My personal phone number, 313-718-0868 for poetry and whatnot. And if you are a young person or a parent of a young person, have them check out www.emiac.org and get your youth involved.
Yes, definitely. And like I told you, these youth are very socially conscious. I mean, they went to the bus system. They went and they protested the bus system. They called those people into order and they made them answer some questions. They go downtown. They know the bills. They know the laws. I mean, I was blown away. They know more than I know. And so, I introduced just a real short story. I brought my son to one of the meetings, and normally you introduce your child to a child and they're like, "Hey, let's go play." Young man that I introduced him to said, "Yes, it's very nice to meet you. What are you going to do to contribute to this issue that's going on in the city of Detroit?" And my son was like, "Can I put my coat down and get back to you?" So they are on it. They are on it. So if you don't have your children involved in something, please contact him. And even contact them to see if you can get your children involved in any way possible, because they're doing some wonderful, phenomenal things, and they're gonna raise up some pretty brilliant. These kids aren't gonna let the emergency manager law this happen to us in the future or even now. I mean, I'm scared of them. I'm just telling you, they're awesome. And Ja, go ahead and give us your contact information again.
Okay, my contact information again is 313-438-8184 or 313-808-8167. And you can also reach me on Facebook at facebook.com facebook.com ja.x.ill. I'll also be performing at the 90s I'll also be performing at 90s on the 9th. Okay. And that's located on, I don't know the exact address, but that's located on Woodward and Claremont.
It's in Highland Park.
Yeah, it's in Highland Park, and it's located on Woodward and Glendale. Okay. And the next day I'll be performing at Manila Bay, which is on the 10th of February.
4731 Grand River.
Yep.
All right. Thank you all for joining us again tonight. Thank you, Ja. Thank you, William. I appreciate you. And please contact them and please book them. We'll be right back.
Sermons. You can buy one and get two free. Not one suit, but two free. Buy one suit, bring two friends. Buy one suit, bring two relatives. Buy one suit, get two free. Bring your pastor, your boss, your teacher. Buy one suit and get two free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leather, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy one suit, get two free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
The Brinker Group has been serving clients throughout Metro Detroit since 1989. Our group is comprised of 5 commercial contracting firms that specialize in construction management, general contracting, architectural interiors, flooring, glass and aluminum applications, and electrical installation. For exceptional service at competitive rates, choose the Brinker Group. We build with quality, confidence, and pride.
Welcome back to Mixing It Up. I want everybody to know that the reason that can we show a 2-shot, Odo? The reason that I have this young lady here, Miss Honeycomb, is because this show is about value. And it is not my show. I want everyone to realize this is a community station. This is a community show. Anything that can enhance and educate the community, I want to have on my show.
Right.
And you have been here for about a month.
Yes.
Right? And I can't tell you how much more enhanced this show has been.
Thank you.
From you coming on. And I know you don't exactly live around the corner.
No.
You live about 20 miles away, I would presume.
Yeah.
And everybody that you brought on has been brilliant.
Thank you.
And I am a better person since my association with you, and I hope that we can do things in the future. And there's a real good chance that next week we're going to have a youth corner, and unfortunately we're going to have to say goodbye to Honeycomb, but she'll be back from time to time. Anytime you have anybody that you want to bring here or something going on,
right,
you let us know.
Okay.
And I have to personally thank you
Thank
and
you.
hug you for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
I appreciate
And,
it.
and I have to thank Robert
My
Robinson.
guests appreciate it.
Huh?
My guests appreciate it.
I have
too.
to thank Robert Robinson for
Yes.
introducing us
Yes.
because I was asking him for a good poet for several months, and he
Okay.
sure brought. And you know what? I was watching you out there,
Uh-huh.
and you are great with people.
Oh, thank you.
You really are. I mean, you're just so natural behind the camera, and I just had to have you on to let everybody. This is not goodbye. This is a start of hopefully a new friendship. I hope
Right.
we can do things together outside of here.
We will.
Okay.
Yes.
And would you like to say anything? You give them your contact information where they can get a hold of you.
Thank you for tuning in to, first of all, Mixing It Up with Barry Ross, and then sticking around and tuning in to my segment. I do host a weekly poetry series every single Saturday at the Urban Network, 5740 Grand River at McGraw, and it starts, the doors are at 6, open at 7. It's free if you perform. It's only $3 if you don't. And you can reach me at 313-433-9882.
And your Facebook page?
Tawana Honeycomb Petty, Petty.
And we have another minute. Let's see if we can take a quick call.
Okay.
Hello, you're on the air.
Oh, I really enjoyed the poetry, and her number is 433-9882.
Yes.
Okay, because the guys were talking so fast, I couldn't get their numbers. But I
Okay.
have a teenager that does poetry, and he's very successful with Youthville. McDonald's put two of his poetries in the book. And
Beautiful.
like
I know
for
the
him
person who
to
did that
get
book.
back involved.
That's beautiful. Well, call me. I'll get you in touch with the gentleman that we just had on. And I actually know the guy, Joe Fluent Green, who put that McDonald's book together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jeffrey Walker's in there. They picked two of his poems. So,
Beautiful.
Yep.
Do you know that this lady, Tawana Honeycomb, has written 2 books? You in your second book?
Second edition of the first
You
book.
got to
but
show them your book.
It's Introducing Honeycomb. And you can call me. I can give you all that contact information on how you can get my book. And have your, you said your son or your nephew?
My son.
Your son, have him come up there to open mic. Do some poetry.
Okay,
It'll be
I go to
free.
Grand River and McGraw.
Yes, Grand River at McGraw.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'll be in touch with you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I want everyone to know it's one thing to write a verse.
Yes.
It's another thing to speak it where it hits you. And every time you recite a verse, it
Mhm.
hits me. And I'm not, I don't just say anything.
Right, right,
anybody
right.
that knows me, I tell it like it is. This woman moves you.
Right.
Some people move you, some don't, but you hit them hard, and I'm proud to know you.
Thank
and,
you.
And in Detroit, Wayne County, anybody that's watching this show, we do good things here. You can be successful in Detroit.
Yes.
You can be of the artistic nature, of the artistic vein.
Yes.
And you don't have to not be cultured.
That's right.
And you can enrich your children.
Yes, you can.
Yes, and we're going to show more. And I know you're all off into the youth.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Have a 16-year-old son at Cass Tech.
That's wonderful. So everybody, you stay tuned to this show. We have a lot more for you in store. And I'm on every Tuesday at 9 p.m. And you go to, please, Mixing It Up with Barry Ross on demand, and you join. You hit like, and you hit the on-demand button, and you can watch all the archives. So you like Honeycomb, you like her guest tonight, they will be posted by the weekend. And it's important that you get involved. We need you to get involved. We need your opinions. We need your ideas. We all want to work together. It takes a village. Marcus Garvey movement, Malik Shabazz, we're on the streets. I get out whenever I can. My business precludes me from being involved as much as I want, but my heart is in the community. I had a family on tonight whose child was murdered. They don't have money for the funeral. Please call me, 248-417-9696, and you can donate. Every child should not die before their parents. In the event they do, they need to be put to rest. This family can't put their child to rest. So please get involved in the community. Donate to the Ivory Emergency Children's Fund. This is for any child that dies in the city of Detroit from a fire whose family cannot bury her. This is a nonprofit in America. The Ivy Emergency Children's Fund. So until next week, everybody, I wish you peace and happiness, and good things are coming. We all got to get involved, and no emergency manager.
That's
no
right.
emergency manager, like you said. I was up in Ann Arbor. We all need to get involved.
That's right.
See everybody next week. Thanks for tuning in. Mixing it up. Bye-bye. Tuesdays, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security with neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33.
You're watching UHF TV 33, Detroit Highland Park.
Healthcare jobs are in high demand. Today, at Wayne County Community College District, our healthcare students achieve the highest national licensing ratings and graduate to have successful careers. 95% of all WC3D graduates stay in the area, contributing more than $120 million annually to Michigan's economy.